want to listen to it, I think, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I am recording to the cloud right now.
Okay.
Good.
And when everybody is here, I'll bring up the agenda, Don. So I can write on it.
I printed it out.
And then whenever we're ready, I will look for the guidelines and stuff, whatever else we want to bring
Hey,
up.
there's
Hi, Lola.
Hi, ladies.
Hi, good to
How's
see
every-
you.
How's
Hey,
everyone doing?
Well, Terry's been in a car accident, but she's with us, thank God. And she's in one piece, so that's really a good thing.
Yes.
And I'm in Ohio with the family crisis, but I'm here helping out and head to Salt Lake tomorrow and
I
life
was gonna-
happens.
I was going to congratulate you for being with family, but not if it's.
I am.
Sis.
Yeah, but it's a God
Sorry.
thing. It's a God thing that I'm here. It's just, I needed to be here and I am.
Now,
Yeah.
Marie, what part of Ohio are you in?
Right now I'm in Columbus, but I've been in Lima.
Because I'm
So-
from Ohio.
Oh, okay, that's right. We've talked about that. Yeah, my sis lives in Lima. So I've been there this week and then we'll fly to Salt Lake tomorrow to spend the next week and a half with Lyle. So that'll be good. We lost Aisha, or is she there?
All
Her picture's gone, but she's there.
Okay.
right, let me find the thingy. Where'd it go? Meeting reminder attachment. Set to. I just had it. Download. Where'd you go? Hang on. You talk while I look.
Okay. There you are. Well, I think I didn't know if Lynn Flanagan was joining us. Demetra, I think, is working. So I think, and Jane is working. So we did adjust this time frame because it's holiday time and Huntington Beach has a fundraiser tonight. So there's Susan. There you go. So I just want to welcome everybody to the meeting and I'm going to have everybody introduce themselves. I know, Aisha, you've met most people, but I think it's just nice for one time for you to know who our steering committee is. One of the things that we've all kind of committed to do is our steering committee or committee members are all workers. So each of us takes on tasks and sometimes they're short-lived tasks and sometimes like with Terry's position, it goes on for every task, but we have different people on the steering committee who are doing specific work for different activities. So that makes it a working committee for sure. So I'm Dawn Marie Lemons and happy to be co-chair with my friend Mary Chiappetta. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Mary Chiappetta and I'm with the SI Huntington Beach and I chair the Stop Human Trafficking Committee.
And we have Terry, you can introduce Terry Rose, introduce yourself, and then Terry Jackson, and then Carrie, and then Lola, and then Susan, okay?
I'm Terry Rose. I'm also SI Huntington Beach and I am active in our Stop Human Trafficking Committee and proud member of the STAT Steering Committee.
I'm Terry Jackson and I'm with SI Brea La Habra and I'm on the steering committee and active in stopping human trafficking.
And have been for years.
Yeah.
Yes, and Carrie.
I am Carrie Tinker. I am with SIHB as well, Huntington Beach. And I am also on the Anti-Human Trafficking Committee of our club and a member of STAT now.
Great. And Governor Lola.
Yes, thank you. I'm Lola Abrahamian. I am with SILA and Camino Real Region Governor and on the steering committee for this.
And I think last but not least, we are very happy to welcome Aisha to our meeting and our group.
One more, Susan Gilby.
Oh, sorry, Susan.
That's okay.
My pictures don't show everything.
I know. Susan Gilby Vice President of SI Westminster. I know Aisha well. Very happy to be working with this amazing group on prevention of human trafficking. And I serve as the advocacy and kind of legislative affairs, I guess, would be the title, person on this committee, as well as a right-hand person for Mary and organizing some of our events. So thank you.
Good. And now Aisha.
Hey, so I'm Aisha. I'm SIA HQ staff. My title is Chief of Impact and Engagement. So I work with membership, leadership development, convention, our programs, and I'm going to be your staff liaison. So really here to learn and capture your best practices, because I think there are other clubs out and about that want to do this kind of work. So I want to be able to help them to do this. And really here to support you with whatever you need help with, really, and work alongside you. And I'm excited to work alongside you.
Thanks, Aisha. I was happy you volunteered or were chosen. I don't know. I think you
I
volunteered.
volunteered. I wanted to
You
do it.
did. I was happy that you were the volunteer that we got to have. So that was good. So we have how we organize ourselves often is in project groups, and we're going to talk about that. But the first thing I want to bring up is our guidelines. So about several weeks ago, after one of our meetings with headquarters, we did a pretty big slim down, if you will, of our guidelines to embrace, I think, everything, every point that we had been not instructed on, but advised on. And so unfortunately, Aisha didn't get it until today, but the others of you have gotten it. And I've talked to most of you, and most of you are happy with the revisions. We're not going to officially finalize them today because Aisha didn't get a chance to fully look at them, but I did want to just bring them forward to see if there is, before we do our final approval of them, I want Terry to talk to us a little bit about the work that she did with the finance director, CFO, sorry. I was at a finance director meeting from my church, so I had to get the right titles now, with the CFO from SI headquarters regarding our finance section of the guidelines. And then the other thing we'll talk about briefly is the logo and branding issue. So Terry, would you like to go first, please?
Sure. Thank you. So I met with Sanjay. He's our new CFO, and talked about, showed him what we had in our finance section of our guidelines, and let him know that we wanted to make sure that whatever language that we used was in compliance with generally accepted accounting principles, and also with what our headquarters were doing. So he made some changes for me. We worked together to make those changes appropriate to our committee. And the one change that he made and explained to me later on was that if we do any accounting, it will be on an accrual basis, not on a cash basis, because our headquarters is on an accrual basis. So we are in compliance with our headquarters in terms of how we're doing our accounting. We've also now got in there how long we should retain any records and our dissolution. And I think I've passed it back to him. He has reviewed it all and has approved it. So I think that we're good to go on the finance section. I think that's one section that we don't ever have to talk about because it's got the approval of our headquarters. Thank you.
Well, Terry, I want to thank you, and we'll also send a note to Sanjay thanking him, but I want to especially thank you for taking that on and working with him, because I think it was maybe one of his first experiences working with club kind of level people, and so it was a learning process for everybody.
Yeah, it was quite a learning process, actually. I asked for a paragraph and got a manual at first.
Yeah,
But he understood after we spoke again, so it was cool. I mean, it was great. It was great to work with.
So that was good. And then the second part of it was the branding issue. And we had the pleasure of meeting, was it last week? I don't know. Time is just so flying. Maybe a week ago, 10 days ago, with Kimberly from headquarters, who's their branding expert. She has a real title, but I'm just going to say branding expert. And she was lovely and very easy to work with. And we immediately kind of sent our idea of what we think our branding would look like, which would essentially be using the official logo and with our title and as steering committee, or as Optimus Together Against Trafficking, not STAT. We'll just call ourselves STAT, but the full title. And so we've sent that to her, and she made a commitment to get back to us within about 2 weeks of when we sent our thoughts to her. And we talked, it was really, Susan was on that, and Terry was, and myself, and Aisha and Michelle, and Kimberly, right? Did I get everybody that was on it? And she has some really good ideas, obviously, and she is going to actually, I believe, give us some photo ready art so that we can just drop whatever we end up with right in our documents. And we talked about our uses of it, and external and internal and so forth. So I think we all we left with a similar understanding of what our branding would be, that we really want to stay consistent with SIA's branding and not make it look like a whole new organization, but a part of the organization, and a working committee actually of SIA, so of members of clubs that are SIA clubs. So we should hear about that pretty soon, and we're kind of motivated to have that because we do have an event coming up, and we'd like to have a brand on our flyer. So the 2 weeks was a really good timeline for us if that happens. So Susan, Terry, Aisha, does anybody want to add anything else to that sort of very quick review?
I think you covered it.
When's the event, Marie?
January 26th.
Okay.
It will be, Aisha, it will be a hybrid event, again, focusing on the fact that it's Stop Human Trafficking, or Human Trafficking Awareness Month.
Mhm.
So we expect a huge crowd. Would you like to fly out for it?
I might.
You can stay at my house.
I have to see where my kids will be in the world first.
Otherwise, you can zoom in.
Right. We clearly for that event want to have a stand-up banner that we would use, but in addition, we're getting flyers out to clubs that have already expressed an interest, and we have vendors chosen and stuff. We'll go into that report shortly, but I think that's kind of a review of where we are with the two issues, and then the guidelines embraces both. Susan, were you wanting to interject something? Oh, is that okay? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you were raising your hand. We're so formal here, right?
We're all getting to be mimes here.
Yeah, pick me. Okay, so we'll just as soon as we know where we stand on that, we'll be able to hopefully just drop that new logo right into our flyer that we're going to promote this event on, and move forward. In order, we were committed to figuring out a standing banner as well. And I think we've been offered the great big huge Dream Big banner. Susan, is that right?
Yes, yes.
One of the other clubs is purchased, yeah?
Yeah, it's from Campbell Bay. They're happy
Right.
to loan us the banner.
So that'll be nice. So we'll be branded. So, all righty. So without any further ado, we're going to go to a discussion of the event. And we had a really good meeting last week, I believe, and hammered through a whole bunch of details, all of which are not completely decided yet, of course, but we wanted to bring them to you and see if you had other things to add or change. So January 26th, 5:30 to, I don't know, we're gonna say 8:30, I think. It will be at the Assistance League building in Huntington Beach, which we will pay $100 for the rental of it, which is pretty darn reasonable. It has a capacity, Carrie, of how many?
140.
140, which probably we would have less than that because we're going to have some vendor tables there. And so we'll need some of the space that might have been people's spaces, but the committee is suggesting that the cost will be $35, which will include dinner, or $15 for those that connect remotely. The $35 largely will go to the vendor, and I want, Mary, would you tell us about the vendor? Because I'm pretty excited. Oh, actually, it's Susan, right?
Susan's our gal.
I know.
So I've been in touch with Karut, which is Aisha is an organization that has just recently begun, probably about 18 months, I think, in our Orange County area, that is employing and training women, for the most part, from human trafficking situations, who've been released from human trafficking situations, to train them as prep and line cooks and servers in the catering industry. I think I have that right. Karut stands for Keep Her Uplifted. And we have a request for quote out to them for the dinner. They also, an additional advantage is that their servers, their employees are pretty well all survivors. So they will also be able to speak for a few minutes about the importance of finding meaningful work, etc., after their liberation from the perils of human trafficking. I don't have a response back yet, but I'm in contact with Rachel. Gave her a kind of outline, asked her to make sure that the person who would be our attendant on our buffet would be someone who was a survivor, which I believe would be pretty much everyone. And so we are going to support a wonderful training organization for women to so they can learn a meaningful trade as they're coming out of trafficking situations.
Yeah, and I think Huntington Beach is also have hired them for an event. Is that correct, Carrie?
Well, actually, we are not using them for our
Okay.
fundraiser in February, just because of the value compared to another
Right.
caterer, but I'm sure we will use them down the road.
Yeah. Mary, would you do a little brief review of the program? And I want to give you a sneak preview that Lola will be the last speaker, so you can tell about our frontline speaker. Well, actually, how about if I tell about the vendor speakers, you talk about our main speaker, and then I'll say what Lola is going to do. Is that all right?
Perfect.
So we have the vendors that we're going to have. We'll have obviously a Seroptimus table. We will have our friends from the Global Center of Women and Justice, the Live to Free club of students, having materials there, and hopefully one of their students there. And we will have Heavenly Treasures Shop with a Mission organization, which is a fair trade organization that has 2,700 artists in many, many countries around the world getting fair trade, and many of them are being deflected from a trafficking situation because they're in war-torn countries and so forth. They're in extreme poverty. There'll be one vendor, and the other vendor is a group called International or iSanctuary, who employs survivors of human trafficking in training opportunities to make really gorgeous and affordable jewelry. And Soroptimist have been working with them for years, Huntington Beach a lot recently, and Newport Harbor years ago. And so they'll have a table as well. So it's going to be a nice shopping experience, a nice social experience, and we'll have each of the vendors just tell a little bit about their organization before dinner. And then the keynote.
And
Mary.
then the keynote, there is an organization in Orange County known as Higher Ground. And they're based in Anaheim, which is kind of nice because it's a nice central kind of location. Higher Grounds, their mission statement is they engage the entire person to facilitate exploration and discovery of life's possibilities through mentorship. And they expand purpose, possibilities, and hope for youth and families. One of their core things that they started out with is they have like a huge, I think it's a whole park now, where they do after-school activities for at-risk youth, softball, sports, tutors. They counsel the parents. They do all of this kind of stuff. And the task force, the Orange County Task Force, went to Joe Baldo, who started this organization, and said, we want you to develop some curriculum to go out to 7th graders in Orange County to talk about, you know, the red flags of trafficking and grooming and all these kind of things. And when you meet Joe, he's just like, me, what do I know? Well, Joe came from Hollywood. He was a video guy, and he ended up finding his calling in the prison detention system, then went to start this Higher Ground, and now has gone off and actually has created curriculum for the middle school and some high school as well. And so he's going to come with the hook they have is they have college students teach this program. And the amazing part is the kids are engaged, because he came and spoke at the task force, and he had 3 college kids, and they were energetic and they were fun. And they said that these kids just look up and really listen to these ladies speak, because they're not much older than them, you know? So anyway, that's what he's doing. It's all about prevention. And he's going to come and talk about the program with us and bring the college students. Marcel and I saw him do it at the task force. There wasn't a dry eye in the house. He's just such a great speaker and has such a kind heart and such a good program. So, and he is the darling of the task force. I mean, he is in demand. So we are thrilled to have him, and I'm excited.
And our hope is that the cost for online attendance is $15, and we're hoping to have some of that go to an honorarium for Joe Baldo and his work. California, it may not be known to you, Aisha, but California passed a law not too many years ago requiring education about the dangers of human trafficking at 3 different points in the education period of public school kids. And so this is one of the curricula that has been developed across the country, and some really innovative programs have developed actually in the state of California, and actually other states too, but brought to California because of this new law. So we're really excited about having him. And then the end of the story will be presented by our Lola, because we really want to wrap it up with what we can do and what Soroptimists are doing, both from the prevention standpoint, particularly with Dream It Be It, and with the mitigation or remediation or remedy part with Live Your Dream. So we want to really end with a strong SIA message. Right, Lola?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's very critical, and this really ties into all of the DREAM programs that we do in Soroptimist. And to, I think Live Your Dream is a great component of it, and we can garner possibly more applicants through this collaboration. Dream It Be It is a great, I think, this kind of goes like this. And then also with the Big Accelerator Goal Project, I'm a big proponent of our Big Accelerator Goal Project. And, you know, we have a lot of women that may not completely fall within the criteria for Live Your Dream, but may fall into the category for Big Accelerator Goal Project. And I think it's a really great collaborative approach and a win-win for everybody. So yeah, I mean, I'm very honored that you guys have asked me to get up there and talk about this. So thank you.
Yay.
Our
So,
pleasure.
so Dawn, I talked to Mary the other day. I think if we can, right before Lola speaks,
Yes.
we can provide a Live Your Dream honoree who's a survivor of human trafficking. And I think it would make Lola's message even stronger if we had her speak right before Lola spoke, so that they would get it not just from like Joe Baldo's people and not just from, you know, anybody else, but actually from somebody who's benefited from Seroptimist, who is a survivor. So we just talked about maybe seeing if we could carve out 3 to 5 minutes before Lola speaks to let our survivor speak as well. And it would be, I'm hoping, Lanisha, who won a Federation Award. Oh, Terry, slap your face.
I'm getting everybody's kind of nods that that's what we'd like to do. Yeah. I think it's a good idea.
I think it's a really good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing like I'm organizing an anti-human trafficking event for my church, and I'll send you the information in January. But the woman is somebody that Mary Chiappetta knows, that named April Casillas, and she's a survivor. And oh, her story is so bold and so beautiful and lovely, beautifully said. And yeah, it's an important thing and to be said by the person themselves and not about the person. So
Right.
good idea. Love it. Okay, so Carrie has agreed to take reservations. We have to get the details. We're telling you what we want to put on the flyer. We're waiting, obviously, to know if our cost is a viable cost with Kahoot. And then just to get the branding from SIA approved. And we've already talked to the fair trade vendors, so that's all going. The one thing that we haven't worked out, but we don't have to do tonight. Jane is actually going to help us be our volunteer coordinator for the night. And so we had a really good discussion of many items I never thought of. Thank you very much. Of things, the kind of help that we need to pull the thing off, like parking, you know, coordinating the parking and set up the tables and clean up and so forth. Just those kind of, you know, details that you have to make sure are done. So in December, I've got time, and Jane and I are going to meet and we'll brainstorm and then send them out to you just to get all those little details done, which need to be done, but not tonight.
Dawn Marie, just so you know, I'm working with Bert Beck, one of our members, to coordinate parking next door at the church.
Wonderful.
So she's going to work on that, and I will keep on task with her to make sure that that's going to happen.
Thank you. So, I mean, honestly, that never would have occurred to me. And it's so important, especially in cities where there's so little parking, right?
Yeah.
You know, and they've got a good sized parking lot, but it's not big enough for.
Yeah.
for a
And we
size
probably,
group.
yeah, should have somebody out there directing parking
Right.
once the Assistance League parking's full, you know, direct people to the next store. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I think possibly, Susan, after you talk with Kahoot, Carrie, I think you said that there was going to be a some kind of upcharge to have someone serving on your event in February, but just as a thought, we might need some hands to help the serving and moving around if we have a limited if the on-site help is cost preventative, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, we might need volunteer servers.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
some aprons,
least
we might need
buffers
some
or-
aprons.
Yeah.
I know a lot of Seroptimist aprons around.
Yeah, we have a whole unit full, the Westminster Club. So we have a whole 20, 25 of them that would all match.
But you know what's so fun is people love to be busy anyway, right?
Yes,
You know,
do.
some people don't like the social chit chat. They like to be busy. And so let's all get to work.
'em to
It'll be
work.
fun. It'll be like a big Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and we'll probably have a volunteer at each of the vendor tables to help with that so that there's continuity there. I'll be helping with Heavenly Treasures and so more to be revealed.
I'm
Are there
sorry. Real-
questions?
Yeah, just real quick. Would you guys want, I know someone said we might need help with people kind of directing traffic to the parking lot. So this is in Huntington Beach. I know someone that works at the Huntington Beach Police Department, and would you mind if I reached out to see if we can
Ooh,
explore?
Whoa,
that'd be so
awesome.
cool. And
Do you
then,
have explorers too that might be willing to help us out?
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, I love
nice.
it.
Okay, I'll reach out. I'll make a connection then.
they
Thank
could
you.
stay for dinner.
Yeah,
Okay.
for dinner.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So that was a quick dance through a lot of discussion that we had. Is any questions or suggestions, ideas? We do have to have a title of this thing and we seem to,
Well,
have-
I put one out there right now. I think it's good. Did you get my text?
I did.
Okay, so really, we kind of talked about, well, Joe and they will talk about prevention, but you know, having employment is also prevention on the back end. So you don't
It
go
is.
back into it.
Right.
So, so what did I say?
The
I
many faces of prevention.
I like that we keep using the many faces. You know what? No matter what it is, it's going to be complicated. No matter what our title on human trafficking, it's a complex business. So
Yeah.
here we have these many faces. We've already coined it. We love the look. Why don't we keep talking about that with all of our programs, and we'll just change the byline of it. And so what I said is the many faces of prevention, early education, and engaging employment, or something like that, where, you know, you prevent it early on through early education, and you can prevent it later after people are out of the life by giving them employment.
You want to say engaging or gainful employment?
Something, yes, I was trying to do all these E's, but you know how
Yeah.
I'm crazy with that stuff. But you know what? I mean, I think the many faces of prevention.
That's great.
What
And
do you
we
guys
used,
think?
for those of you that don't know, that was the title of our January webinar that we did last year. So I like that idea of, in fact, that's the one that kept coming in my mind. So I
We've
think,
already created this animal. Let's make it our look every year.
A
And
signature,
yeah,
Yeah.
our signature, and it's so beautiful.
yeah. Good
So-
idea, Mary.
Early education, and which I love goes into our Dream It Be It.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then something about employment, which goes into live your dream and getting educated also and getting jobs. So I don't know what the other word is, something gainful employment or
How about
something.
maybe
employment.
just
Empowerment?
Yeah, it could just be employment.
I kind of like
What if-
gainful.
Or what about just go say education, because it's education on multiple levels, right? It's
Right, yes.
educating communities, education,
And employment.
employment, and empowerment. Education, employment, empowerment,
or empowerment through education.
education and
And employment, I like,
That's
that's nice, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because early education, people think of as
Little
preschool.
league.
Pre-K,
Yeah.
you're right.
So, yeah, empowerment through education, and that really is consistent with SIA and
Oh,
SI.
it dovetails everything together for that night
Yeah.
too. So, there you go.
I love working with this group. It's so fun.
Okay, ladies, there it is.
We got
There
a
it
title.
is. So we've got the 3 companies there that are employing people that have gotten out of it, and I love it.
Yep, good.
Yeah, awesome.
Any questions?
Not a question, but I have a offer. I've done a physical inventory of SIA store in preparation for our audit. And there's some swag that we had that hasn't performed well. that we're gonna discontinue. So I
Wow.
think maybe we could send it to you all to give away at the SIA table.
Oh my God, that would be
That's
awesome.
So just let me know who I should ship it to.
Probably me, right?
Yeah. Terry's got a
You
warehouse.
were right, doesn't-
Okay,
yeah,
so I'll-
I have a warehouse,
sorry, if you
right.
wanna just direct message me your address, I'll make sure I ship it to you in time. for
Okay.
that.
wonderful, fantastic.
That's awesome.
So media, we've got some fingers in the pie for that, and the banner, as soon as we get our logo, then we'll figure out our banner and what that looks like. I think that's probably enough discussion of that right now. We'll come back just to figure out, do we need another, I think we'll need another meeting, but probably early January, but we'll figure that one out. Terry, Big Goal Accelerator application.
Okay, so I sent everyone the first draft of the Big Goal Accelerator application, which I modeled after the Live Your Dream application. But Dawn and I had a conversation, and it's going to be skinnied down. For one, we don't care with regard to the Big Goal Accelerator projects if the woman is head of her household, if she has dependents or not. She might be a single woman going to school who, again, wouldn't apply for or wouldn't be eligible even for a Live Your Dream Award because she has no dependents. So, and then we're going to make it a little bit easier. It won't be quite as extensive as the application for Live Your Dream, although it will call for 2 references as well, so that, you know, we make sure that we kind of stay in concert with how the Live Your Dream application looks, at least as of today. So you'll be getting a scale. I was going to do it before this meeting, but I apologize again. I got dismantled, I guess, or my car did, and I did with it. So I will be doing it. You'll all have it before Thanksgiving to take a look at, and then to make comments on it. And so that every one of us agrees to how it looks and feels, but it will be of, fillable form PDF. And then we'll figure out about how they do their recommendations. I know that I've been doing a lot of reference letters for college scholarships, and I just get an email that says, so-and-so is asking for a reference letter from you. And maybe that's how we'll do it too, but we can talk. And again, maybe Aisha, you could even give us some hints as to the easiest way to do that, so that we're not bombarded with a bunch of statements and we don't know who they're for.
Sure.
Anyway, that's where we are right now. So what you have is not what you're going to end up with, but it was my first pass to just model it as best I could after the Live Your Dream application to make it easy on everybody.
And the funding of this will come from clubs as they decide to earmark some money for our Soroptimist Together Against Trafficking work. And so the beauty of this is, I mean, we have this lofty goal that we would have some kind of money and we would do this before the end of this fiscal year. And I think we will have a little promotion of our group, obviously, at our event on the 26th. And we'll have our flyer will go out to all the people that we've already been engaging with, which we had 70 people at our webinar last year. So, and we had the human trafficking training that we did, Mary, was it 32 people, I think?
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and we had a good number at our May event as well. So we're making a list and checking it twice. So thanks, Terry, for working on that. And we'll just keep chunking away at that, and it will certainly be an early year project for us. All righty. One of the things that we always do at these meetings is just get excited about what different clubs are doing and what different organizations that we are supporters of are doing. And I guess I'm just pretty excited about the Orange County Human Trafficking Task Force opportunity that just landed in our laps because they know us. And Mary, of course, is a very active member on that task force. So would you tell us about the January 18th event?
Oh my gosh, it's so very exciting. Okay, so I sent you all in the agenda the flyer that went out. No, it was with the Zoom link. I think the Zoom link. I sent you an attachment and shows the flyer of the marketing of this. It's kind of a 4-page flyer that the task force has put together. And on the bottom of it, it shows participating organizations, and there's Seroptimus International, loud and strong, along with all the major players in Orange County human trafficking. So we were thrilled to be on the ground floor in the brainstorming of that. But all right, basically, Joe Baldo and Higher Ground went to Anaheim Unified School District and said, we would like to put a program on regarding prevention. And so we'd like all your students to come from 10 till 2 and for a full day of prevention, hearing victims speak, food trucks, and a resource table area where Seroptimus will have a table. And just a whole, it's so exciting. We talk about prevention. They're actually going to do the prevention and bring the children in to Cal State Fullerton. They've got the student union. Everything is still underway being planned, but they did just start marketing it a couple days ago. So I got a note from Lynn Tran the other day saying, we've been so busy. We'll be in touch very soon. So we'll have a table. We want every Seroptimus we know to come. It's kind of cool because it's 10 to 2. So it's finally something maybe during the day, even, and it's broken up into presentation time, food truck time, and resource table time. So we're going to have a booth or a table. We're going to have to think of something, a raffle drawing. All that is being discussed now with the planning committee, but it's just so exciting because they've never done anything like this as a countywide event. And it's at a college, so it's so fun.
And they're working on busing the kids in and
So now imagine the logistics. So Juan Ravelis, who runs the task force from the police Anaheim PD, his job was to get the buses going. So that's what I'm saying. There's lots of arms and legs to this, but the fact that they're out promoting it says it's a go. I mean, originally Lynn said we're looking to get 500 students in. So, I mean, that would be amazing if they got that many students in, but they want, it's an awareness event. So they want parents to come. They want teachers to come to listen.
faith groups to
you
come,
know.
because a lot of the work done is from faith groups as well. Faith groups and
Exactly.
NGOs.
Everyone, they just want to have it packed. And it's their first time ever. And next year they've got even bigger plans. So I guess on the maiden voyage, I'm hoping it goes really well. Tell everyone. I mean, I don't know about our Fullerton club. I mean, we've got some clubs right in the neighborhood that I don't know I never know anybody.
Yeah.
So that's you guys. You guys know people. I don't. So check out the flyer I sent you all, and it's got all the details on there. And we're just so proud to be listed as a major player in this field.
Right. And to just really have an information table, which is wonderful. So we'll figure that out as a group, what we want on that information table. We need to, one of the things we need to know is what age group are we looking at? So
Right,
it's kids.
right.
And we were kind of thinking it was middle school kids, and that's what's in my head, but I'm not sure yet.
Right.
So,
I will be getting those details. So stay tuned.
so
And
it's always
we got Joe Baldo before the Orange
Right.
County Task Force hired him to do it. So it's kind of exciting because they will have just come off this whole thing and he'll be able to talk about it. And I mean, it's going to be an amazing dovetail from that to our session.
wonderful. Okay, so there's that. Does anybody else? I think Lola, you had some things to share. Yes.
Yes, sorry, I was multitasking. Yeah, actually, so I think I sent you guys all the information that some of our clubs in Sorry, my dog, it's the witching hour. The dogs are going crazy right now. Some of the clubs up in the Ventura area, Ventura County are going to be doing, and so they have billboards that are going to be going up, in digital billboards for Stop Human Trafficking and Seroptimus logo and everything. They have a Stop Human Trafficking walk that will occur on January the 7th, and it'll be in Ventura, and I can send that information to all of you between 1 and 4. And I have another club, Conejo Valley. I just ran into one of their members at a Greater Santa Clarita fashion show that happened this weekend, and they are actually doing another event that's going to be coming up for Stop Human Trafficking, a collaboration with their Seroptimus Club as well. So I'll send all that information out to all of you. So sorry. That's all I have.
But it's so good to know the different types of things people are doing. I was speaking at Artesia Cerritos, which is, I think, LA County, one of our northernmost clubs, about Seroptimus in the United Nations, and mentioned the work that our committee is working toward. And they were really excited because they have a gal who that's her thing. And they have they do presentations in the city of, I believe, Anaheim, and have a connection and do an annual thing. So it's like she wants to be in our group and participate. And I said, well, we're getting this event together, and I have her name and number. I gave it to Terry. So as there's people doing things, and that's the whole purpose of this committee, is to share the successes and to support each other and the ideas.
And if I can just jump in real quick, last night we had our SILA program meeting. We had a guest speaker, Jackie, who is part of the Biddy Mason Foundation, and an amazing woman. And their whole thing is reaching out to foster youth that are aging out of foster youth. And she was talking about a lot of the children, or I call children, sorry, a lot of these 85% of the population that's in foster youth, which is 30,000 kids in LA alone, are in foster care. 85% of them age out of foster care, and a big portion of them fall into human trafficking. And I would really love to invite her and bring her possibly to the event on the 26th. And I want to collaborate with her because she's part of the affiliated with the First AME church in South LA. And her mom was she was a Seroptimus, and I want to actually start a club in South LA in collaboration with First AME and the Biddy Mason Foundation. So again, this is like this whole full circle of collaboration. And even she said last night, there's no one nonprofit organization that's going to be able to address all the problems. It has to be a multi-pronged collaborative effort to address these issues. So I wanted to share that with all of you. So
Lola, can you spell, is it Biddy, B-I-T-T-Y, Mason? B-I-T-T-Y?
Y Mason. Yeah, she was an enslaved woman who came here.
Absolutely.
Are you aware of her, Dawn Marie? She's
Absolutely.
Can you tell me her name again, please?
B-I-D-D.
Oh, her name is Biddy.
Yeah.
I thought it was an organization.
No,
She's the Biddy Mason Foundation now.
Yes,
She has since passed away. She passed away in 1891, but
okay.
Yeah, an amazing woman.
Yeah,
Did amazing stuff. And
But who is your speaker again?
all I have is her first name. I'll get you her full name.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so I would love to connect her to what we're doing down here in Orange County, but in collaboration with Camino Real region and SILA. And as soon as we get my West Side LA club up and running, my goal is to hit up the First AME Church and see if we can start a club there in collaboration with the church and this foundation. So, yeah.
Super, yay. I know that Huntington Beach has been working with the Waymakers with some holiday activities
Yeah.
for some of the people, the trafficking survivors. And March 3rd and 4th will be the, I don't know, 20th. It's 15th, 20th, Ensure Justice at Vanguard University. And Seroptimus will once again be in charge of registration. So the first work is out, and it's really aimed toward prevention and home and home with a very expansive definition of home, because of just what Lola just said about so many people's home experience is in foster homes. So as we get going on that, I'll let you know. Obviously, both full days I'll need volunteers, and you will get an amazing education if you can participate in
Yeah.
that.
You know,
Wonderful.
I guess I can't see me, so I don't know if I have my hand up or not, but I apologize. I can see all of you, but I can't see me. But I just wanted to say something about what Lola just said. One of the challenges with the foster system is when those youths age out, they are out of assistance.
Right.
They're on their own. It's like they're kicked to the curb and said, survive on your own. So, I mean, that whole system needs to be to get a facelift.
It is true, and yet organizations like Olive Crest and Orangewood in Orange County, and there are some in LA that do actually have continuity programs for after 18.
True.
So I'm excited about that, and maybe that could be some kind of focus for our learning. I just we've been having a Dream It Be It group that Huntington Beach and Newport Harbor area are doing together, and we're seeing some of our graduates from last year who are graduating, and I'm just thinking of some big goal accelerator ideas.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
with these
The gate is unlocked. Just come in from the back.
Sorry.
And I got the
with these
dog.
very challenged young women who are facing a lot of obstacles. So I think we know girls, and I think we know how to support them, and we will be able to do that with the Big Goal Accelerator project, particularly in addition to Dream It Be It. Any other club report or region report? Okay, Miss Susan, advocacy and action, anything on the pike right now?
Oh, I have to confess, I've been a little distracted as I prep for surgery tomorrow. So please forgive me. I will get back in reporting more actively over the next little while. I'll have lots of time sitting with my leg up and not being able to go anywhere. So I promise to put together some current news points and legislative initiatives that we can work on. So again, my apologies, but it's just,
It's
life happens when you're busy making other plans, as my friend John Lennon said.
Yeah, between Susan and Terry, with our two little injured puppies, we've got a lot of prayers that are coming out for you both, and good wishes on your surgery. Yikes. Okay, so I think at some point, and I think it would be after January, and after we've just kind of finished our guidelines and got them all wrapped up, I don't have a date for it right now, but I do think in February or March, we would want to have an official Seroptimus Together Against Trafficking meeting that is for clubs to attend, and we can tell them who we are and what we're doing and what we've done, and invite them to be part of it. So, and we had hoped that those meetings would happen 3 or 4 times a year. So it's not like we're late or anything, but I think for our next steering committee meeting, we'll want to talk about that more firmly. I just wanted it on here because we've talked about it, but we've kind of been waiting for our work with SIA headquarters to complete. Is that right, guys?
Have we, the people that we had on the very first session, Have we sent out a blanket note to them about where we've been and why we
Yes.
haven't been? Oh, we have? Okay, good.
Yep.
I wondered because they were all there and then we kind of had to backpedal a bit. So
Right.
I didn't know if other communication had gone out.
And we've had some random communication from them saying, when's the next thing happening?
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
our January event's gonna be a really, I think, a great time. Yeah. Terry Jackson?
Yeah, our club is hosting the District One's winter meeting.
Oh, good.
And I think that we should have, I think our group should have some kind of display there or something.
Okay,
Maybe
great.
do a presentation if that's possible.
Terry, when is that date?
I'm not sure. I think it's February.
It's February something or other.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll block out the we'll block out the month.
Okay,
good, yeah.
great. Yeah, well, that's good.
It's usually the first Saturday in February, as long as it's not a national holiday for District
Okay.
1.
Oh, that would be perfect for me to
Yeah.
be too. So yay. Okay, we'll keep on track of that at our next meeting, which is the next thing. So I put this agenda together. Were there things that we didn't talk about that we need to before we plan our next date?
But the one thing we didn't discuss is what are we looking at for the flyer deadline to get it out? Because we're waiting now for our logo and that type
Yes.
of thing.
Our distribution of them?
Yeah,
We just totally forgot that. Thanks, Carrie.
that's
So
pretty important, I think, right?
it is, Carrie, and that's why it takes a village to run this little operation. Yes, so when we have the flyer, then this is what we had agreed to. So let me remind you all what I remember is that each of us with the clubs that we already know were participating, we will circulate them certainly in our clubs and our spheres. Terry has the master of the other people that aren't necessarily as connected, but have done something with us or expressed an interest, and she'll send it out to them. The flyer itself will have a link for people to make their own reservations.
Right, and I'm
So-
working on that,
Right.
yeah.
So it won't be something that the club has to count how many heads and so forth. It'll be each individual make their own reservation.
Right, but we still need a deadline when we want the flyers to
Yes.
start going
Right,
out.
we need to have our logo.
I
So it
know,
would be
so-
after November, the end of November. So as
Okay.
soon as we can get it, Janet, as soon as she can make it after the end of November, the flyer will go out.
But I'm confused when we say a logo. I'm still a little bit confused what we're saying there.
Our branding, using
Okay.
the Optimus, we are branding in our headline, our header on the form.
Okay, but isn't it just the words or are we doing a new look or something?
No, it's just the words, but the words need to not look like we're creating a new organization. is
Exactly.
what Kimberly's told us. So it's, and what we described to her, she seemed like it wasn't giving huge red flags, but she has a better understanding of branding and how that works than we do. So she has had that in her hands for a week now, probably. And she said she would attempt to get something back to us within 2 weeks from that. So it should be pretty soon.
Cool.
Yep. And we said,
And then we're gonna wanna make sure we have K-Root on, because we talked about putting the vendors' logos on.
that'll go on the flyer, but this is our actual, I'm going to say stat branding.
Oh, yeah. No, I was going back to Carrie's issue of when we have the deadline on the marketing. So,
But once we get it, I mean, dropping in the logos,
easy.
I mean,
It's easy.
talking from a background of printing, something simple like that isn't very difficult to
Yeah.
pull together.
Right.
So, yeah, one other thing I want to mention, Susan's got a member of her club, Mickey, who owns Minuteman Press in Los Alamitos, not that, Cypress rather.
No, it's
And,
Los Alamitos, but yeah.
Okay, Hal just went there. He said it was Cypress, but I told him Los Alamitos. But anyway, she is extraordinarily, I can't emphasize, reasonable in terms of charging for printing material. I mean, I cannot tell you how extraordinarily reasonable she is. But I think that once we have everything set, if we're gonna do mass production of printed material, that we go to Mickey and let
Okay.
her give us a quote and we pay her, her son who runs the business and her.
And he also does banners and
Yes,
things.
yes,
So,
Hey,
yeah,
yeah,
any material like that,
yeah, and
yes.
he'll, and you know, they know us well, and they know if they're not sure about a logo, they never take a chance on inserting anything without checking. It's all what we want to have
Good.
happen. So they'll be a good, and they've been, you know, fantastic to us for ever. So.
Well, we all need that. So that's a
Mhm.
great resource. Okay, anything else? Thank you, Carrie, for flagging that up. And was that enough conversation about the expectations? Do you think? Yes?
Yeah.
Aisha, is your hand up?
Yeah, my hand is up. So I wanted to say, I'll follow up with Kim on the,
Oh,
her reaction to the brand standards. And if
thank
you
you.
need design support, let me know. She has amazing graphic designers on her team, an amazing graphic designer. So let me know if you need her help to design the flyer for the event
Thank you.
as well. And then for the broader Zoom call that you're planning with all of the other clubs invited, if you need to use our platform, SIA's platform, that supports registration and everything, let me know.
Ooh,
So we can set it up through there as well.
Oh, awesome.
that'd be
So-
fantastic.
So Aisha, by using your platform, I mean, is that in terms of just sending out invites to a meeting? Because that's easy, but is that in terms of getting people registered for an event
It'll
or both?
support registration for the event. So
You
you'll-
are brilliant.
Yeah,
We also have it at the Camino Real region. And so you can have people register. We have our Zoom account that's set up so that, yeah, people can register. So we can also do that through the region, through our region Zoom account. But yeah, thank you, Aisha.
Okay. Yeah, we have, I mean, for Zoom things, I mean, we're gonna, for the event in January, we'll use a Huntington Beach Zoom account. And we can go big meeting for that meeting, so we can take up to 300 people. And it's all set, the reason being using ours is that my laptop is already set up to work with the equipment that's at the Assistance League. So
Yeah.
there's 3 TVs there, you know, and the ability to speak both ways and a microphone and podium and all that good stuff.
So then Terry, you should, if you have that capacity with your Zoom account. and
Yes,
If you want, you can, what you do is just send out an email, people, just like SIA does. And then if you say that you want to attend, you register. And once you register, it'll send you the link.
Gotta go, ladies.
Best way to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's about ready to wrap up. So thank you. So those are details that we know we've got some resources for.
Yeah.
I do, I'm not thinking we need a meeting in December. I think if we have details, we can do email contact, but we do need one in early January. What are you all thinking?
Yeah, I think as long as we can communicate by email.
so January meeting,
Yeah, early January, would that be
Okay.
okay?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm open.
Sounds good.
What day are you looking at, Dawn?
I'm opening my calendar. I'm trying to use just one calendar, which is really hard for me.
There's the 5th, that's the very beginning. There's the week of the 9th.
So I could, I almost would like to do it the 3rd or the 4th. The 5th, I'm flying to Cincinnati. Or we could do it the following week, but I just think soon, it's that month, so I think earlier would be better if it's possible.
Yeah.
The 3rd works better for me than the 4th.
Either of those dates work for me. The 5th is our Armenian Christmas. I'm out.
Okay. Well, let's say the 3rd, and we typically have meetings at 5, but I don't mind having them earlier. It's just you all need to say what works.
I'm good with
all day.
earlier.
To, yeah, earlier.
So Aisha, I mean, if we did it at 3:30, does that work for you? That's 6:30, that's dinner time, your time.
Yeah, it's fine.
You sure?
I will hopefully be in Aruba that day.
What?
But I,
Poor baby.
Then you're excused.
We'll be so sad for you.
but I have no idea whether that's really going to happen or not after yesterday's meeting with the doctor. So, I'll be there if I can be, and if not, I'll send a report, obviously. And I'll be around for I'm not going anywhere for at least 3 weeks.
Okay, so let's say 3:30, January 3rd.
Well, I'll set it up and send out the meeting a link, and then I'll send out a reminder as well.
Okay, so you're going to hear from us on various and sundry things as they come up. I'm pretty, I don't want to say this out loud, but I've got quite a bit of time in December available. So some of the busy work stuff I can slam on. And apparently Susan Gilby will be available too, with being a little crippled critter that she will be. Bless her heart. Thank you, everybody. We did this in a little bit over an hour and got a lot of work done.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Yes.
Yeah, happy holidays.
Bye,
Thank you.
ladies.
Enjoy your
Have a
turkey.
wonderful Thanksgiving.
Yeah, everyone do
You
that.
too. Good
Take
night.
care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Good night.
Night.